whatever explained is applicable in the past, present, and future. 5,000 years back, Krishna has spoken Bhagavad Gita. You can see even now it is applicable. The only thing is that we need to have proper mentor in our life. So it is essence of all Vedic scriptures. It's very scientific and practical. So Prabhupada is saying our teachings are authoritative, pure, safe to accept because they are based on works of His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, coming in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And he asked you like, how do you choose a school for your child? Naturally, first you see, is it affiliated to some authority, right? If you want to say he is a good teacher, immediately you will ask him, was he a good student earlier? In the same way, if you want to understand knowledge, like say an Acharya, you must have been a very wonderful disciple. So here in this parampara from Krishna, the knowledge is disseminating to Brahma, Narada, Vyasadeva, Madhvacharya. From there it is coming down to Srila Prabhupada. These are the present parampara. The Prabhupada has spoken, Atato Brahma Jignasa. Human life is meant for understanding the ultimate cause. Every activity of the human being is to be considered a failure unless he inquires about the spiritual values of life. Those who begin to question why they are suffering or where they came from and where they shall go after death are proper students for understanding Bhagavad Gita. See how wonderful statements. The Vedanta Sutra, Atavata Brahma Jignasa, we cannot understand. But when Acharyas give the explanation, we have to know what is the ultimate cause. We can know. It is not that, okay, so far I tried. What you have tried? With the 4 defects only you tried. Right? But if you have taken the shelter of bona fide Acharyas who are coming from like Sampradaya, like disciple succession, stemming from Lord Krishna himself, then you can understand. How Bhagavad Gita should be understood? This is a very, we have to first of all frame our mind. Before we jump into Bhagavad Gita, we should understand Bhagavad Gita should be taken up in a spirit of devotion. So you all can see, go to temple. If you think, oh, here is a stone, then our prayers will be vain. Right? It's no value. When you go to temple, you should observe yourself. Here is the Lord personally giving darshan. In the same way, you should understand Bhagavad Gita is a spirit of devotion. Krishna has spoken Bhagavad Gita, Vyasadeva has compiled. When Vyasadeva was compiling, he mentioned Sri Bhagavan Vacha. When Arjuna is speaking, he said Arjuna Vacha. But when Krishna is speaking, what did he mention? Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Because Krishna is Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna has chosen Arjuna to discuss Bhagavad Gita because Arjuna is a devotee. He accepted Krishna as God. You can see further. So that spirit of devotion, that submissiveness. Submissiveness means, oh, I read Bhagavad Gita, 700 slokas. I think something is not applicable now. I accept from 50%, 70% like that. No. It has to be accepted completely in total. Each and every principle one must follow in our life. Then we can get the complete benefit, just as Arjuna he got. Okay. So Arjuna at the end of hearing Bhagavad Gita, he said, Nashta moha smriti labdha. My illusion is gone. My memory is retained. So he's saying, oh Krishna, this is all your mercy. Then he's saying, now my consciousness is recovered. Karishye vachanam tava. I am ready to fight as you ordered. That was a transformation. So Arjuna was a Kshatriya. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, he remained as a Kshatriya. But what is the transformation that we should understand? Are you able to follow? He did not change his profession. By hearing Bhagavad Gita, somebody may say, oh, you will not work, you will become a Vairagi. No, you will not become a Vairagi. Arjuna, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, did he become Vairagi? This you should understand. Bhagavad Gita is scientific, okay, approach to understand who I am and what I am. My identity, what is my duty. So setting the scene of Bhagavad Gita, you all know Duryodhana challenged Pandavas for gambling match. So all the Pandavas are cheated. Right? Mother Draupadi is insulted, but she is a great devotee. That's why whenever we chant Hare Krishna mantra, we raise our hands, calling out just as Mother Draupadi. Let us chant one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when you call out to the Lord with intense prayer, just as Mother Draupadi is praying, Lord Krishna will certainly come and help. Krishna has given a promise in Bhagavad Gita, you can find. Okay. So Arjuna is saying, Kaunteya Pratijanihi, you declare, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. This is a promise. My devotees will never perish, will never fall down. They will always be in a top, highly intelligent. You become a devotee of Krishna, you become complete, full of eternity, full of bliss, full of knowledge. Sat Chit Ananda. So here that we can find in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, wherever the episodes you may have heard here and there, right, in the Pandavas, there are so great difficulties they went through. Even Bhishma was crying. He's a great warrior. See, great warrior means he has strong, brave heart. But he was crying, saying, why these Pandavas, they're so intimately connected to Krishna, but they are in troubles. But Nagavali is explaining to Krishna, oh Krishna, I'm seeing you are a so great personality. You are a great master, even though your devotees are in great difficulty, they are never complaining. Not only that, they never felt any problem in their life. You see this? Are you follow? Just as a child, whenever he is in difficulty, he will just hold the parents. The child doesn't bother that there is a problem for himself. My father, my mother is there to take care. That's the position of Pandavas. Then the Pandavas went to exile. After a period of exile, they are supposed to get back to kingdom. But Duryodhana was reluctant. He even rejected the proposal to share even 5 villages to Pandavas. And for Krishna's peace mission, baffled, but Krishna has a bigger plan. You see, here also. Mission, even personally carried out by Lord himself, even though it apparently is baffled, but God has a bigger plan. So you should understand and come to the inner self. When you have that connection to God, you always believe, Lord must have something higher thing in my life. He has given me something, aside higher purpose in my life. So that difficulty here is a stepping stone to surrender to God's will instead of surrendering to my will. And this is what same thing, Pandavas. They just approach Krishna, oh Krishna, what should I do? War is inevitable. So they all came to battlefield. On an auspicious day, both the Pandavas and Kauravas assembled. It's a world war. All the kings of the world, they took sides either with the Pandavas or with the Kauravas. Just this time, you can see this side, there is a Dhritarashtra is asking his secretary, Sanjaya. Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra, they are sitting in the palace, and Dhritarashtra is saying, after my sons, the sons of Pandu, assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what did they do? Do you think Sanjay would answer? He's in the palace, right? He's in the palace. How do you answer? Just a minute, I'll go to battlefield. Okay, I'll see and come back. Sanjay has got divine vision. That's what I'm saying. Right now it's effective, but if you become trained like Sanjaya, who is blessed by his spiritual master Vyasadeva, he has a divine vision. He was seeing everything in these three worlds. The entire universe is given darshan to him. Only when Duryodhana passed away, he lost his divine vision because that's the purpose now he has given. Vyasadeva first asked, Dhritarashtra, is your divine vision? No, I cannot see this catastrophe battle. I want to hear. So he gave that mercy to his disciple Sanjaya, and Sanjaya is describing the events in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So that is the how Bhagavad Gita started. Now Sanjaya is explaining. Dhritarashtra, Pandavas and the Kauravas assembled. Arjuna, after seeing all the relatives like Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya, is completely bewildered. He's a completely bewildered state. So, in that bewildering position, he began inquiring Krishna. And there was a very wonderful conversation. Arjuna was asking perfect question, and Krishna has very perfect answer. So Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between two great personalities, and when we hear that conversation, the perfect question, perfect answer, our life becomes successful. How many of you, when you want to understand certain things, you go to FAQs, right? Because you don't want to answer each and everything. The only it's a well-known questions. You just have to go and follow FAQs, you will get the answer. In the same way, you go to Bhagavad Gita, whatever the life-challenging questions we have, the answer is there. Our misfortune is we have never paid attention to Bhagavad Gita. We thought it was simple, just a small copy meant for an old man. Old man. Is it what? You think right? Bhagavad Gita means only for my grandparents. I give the gift to my grandparents. It's not meant for me. I am professional. I am doing R&D. What R&Ds are you doing? You don't know who I am, what I am, you don't know. If I ask you questions like this, you are completely confused. Just as Arjuna, he was a Kshatriya, he got a darshan of Lord Shiva. You know what's the position of Arjuna is explained by Bhishma himself. There are different grades of warriors. Ratha, Atirat, Maharat, Atirat. You know, Atirat is the topmost. You got Pashupatashtra. No other warrior has that. But still, Arjuna is confused in his duty. Let us recite this slogan. I will repeat. You can repeat after me. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. Pruchami tvam dharma sammudha cheta. Pruchami tvam dharma sammudha cheta. Yaksheyasyam nishchitam bruhitam me. Yaksheyasyam nishchitam bruhitam me. Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. Prabhupada is saying, these are wonderful mantras. If you daily get up in the morning, you take bath, right? It is purifying our external self. Maline mojanam pumsam. Jalasnanam dine dine. Daily you take bath in the Ganges, it will purify our sins also, our external consciousness, our mind, intellect. Sakrit Gitamrita Snanam Samsara Malanashanam. Whatever our dirty things in our heart, that's not so easy. Okay. The 6 kinds of enemies, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These are 6 enemies. Arishat Vargas is very difficult. But when you recite the shloka, the sound vibration, when it enters our ear, just as the Hare Krishna mantra, it penetrates deep into the core of our heart, the purification starts. Okay. Arjuna is saying, "Oh Krishna, now I am confused about my duty and I have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. Karpanya dosha, miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Shreya. Shreya means best. Okay. Arjuna says, Prichami, please tell me what is best for me. Karma Sammuda Cheta, I am confused about my duty. And he said, Sishya Steham, I am your disciple. Sadimam Tvam Prapannam, a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. And this is the Arjuna, very submissive spirit. Submissive spirit, this is what we should come to that platform. Then, you see, before the battle, Arjuna's position, he was lacking confidence, anxiety, demoralized, stress, depression. But after hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna emerged victorious by how is mentioned, because he understands, he explored the inner self, the knowledge of the soul, the living force, which we are. We are the living force. There are education departments, physics, chemistry, so many you can find, but there is no unfortunate education department for this living force. So in Bhagavad Gita, 5 basic truths have been explained. First, who am I? Krishna is saying answer, where Atma, soul. Where am I? Where am I now? Right now I mean material nature, except relativity. Then what I am doing here is the question, right? Naturally. Who am I? Where am I? Then what I am doing here? That is called karma, activity. Then how long this continues? How long I will do my activities? That's a duration of time. That is called kala. But where do I belong? We said you belong to God, Ishvara. So these are the 5 truths that are being delineated in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is saying on a great Vaishnava, we are wonderfully praised based on these 5 truths. As souls living in this material world, they are performing activities within the duration of time, though we actually belong in the spiritual world with God. Everybody follow? We belong to different world, right? Unfortunately, we are right now here. How do you understand? I just have a very nice understanding, realization. When the night comes, night conceals the world but reveals the universe. In the same way, when you be trained in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, the revelation of the higher realms, that there is a higher planetary systems, beyond that there is a world where there is no birth, there is no death. And here, in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, we will learn all these truths. Who am I? Where am I? What I am doing here? How long this continues? Okay, we don't know. Parishit Maharaj, he got a notice. Within 7 days, he will be dead by snake bite. You all know, right? Bhagavatam, basic. That's what I was saying. That time, Parishit Maharaj was confused. Oh, I have only 7 days left. What is my duty? That's where Bhagavatam started. When Arjuna, he was confused about his identity. I am Kshatriya, I am supposed to fight, but he is confused. That is the Bhagavad Gita is full. Everybody follow? Like that for everything. For everything, there is scripture. So, now, to answer Arjuna's question, Arjuna asked, what is best for me? Krishna said, oh Arjuna, you should go on fighting. You are actually mourning, you are actually crying, you are actually thinking, which is an unworthy thing. You are thinking in the bodily platform, you are thinking of the body. But what is this Bhishma, Drona, what you are? First, Krishna is speaking this shloka. Please repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे
देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे
कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्ति धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personal Godhead said, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person, Veera, is not bewildered by such a change. How wonderful is sloka. Do you get the answer now? Here you can find there is no difference. Past is there, present is there, future also is there. Right? Krishna is saying, you know, everyone know, right? Everyone has experience, right? But you know, you all know birth, and you all know youth. You have experienced this old age, but you don't know what is that after old age, or after death. But Krishna is saying there will be transformation from one body to another body, that is called reincarnation or soul transmigration. So if you think I am this body, then you will always be suffering. But if you understand this sloka, as Arjuna is realizing, okay, he was fixed up in his duty. Because as a Kshatriya, Krishna is ordering, God is ordering to fight, that is my topmost duty. So I'll give you wonderful one point. How many of you know Yudhishthira Maharaj, Dharmaraj, he spoke a lie in the battlefield. How many of you know? You all know, right? Somebody says, because of lying, he went to hell sometime, right? How many of you say that? No, maybe after healing. But what Krishna has spoken, that is what is dharma, that is a duty. But what Maharaj, Yudhishthira, Dharmaraj did, Aswadhama Ataha, he just added Kunjaraha. Because he wanted to keep his truthfulness, the morality is most important. He is thinking that is his duty, which is wrong. Because here, directly Bhagavan is instructing him to say so, that Aswadhama is killed. Otherwise, this higher purpose in life, right? The higher principle in life, that is not understandable by an ordinary person like Dharmaraj. Only Krishna can say that. So here, what we are understanding, Krishna is ordering to fight, and Krishna is giving his clarification. You are not this body, Arjuna. Don't think this Bhishma. They are actually old age. They are actually suffering in the old body. But as soon as they are killed in this battlefield, they will get high destinations. Sometimes, even in our experience, I have personal experience. My grandfather, they are all suffering so much, and we think if he is actually, leave this body, he would actually be happy. How many of you please accept? Accept, right? Why? We know because of taking birth in this holy land of India, we know this is not all in all. He will certainly get another body next life. Right? But this is a superficial understanding. But we don't have practical application in our life. Try to understand this point. When our person is dying, we give some Gangajal, we speak of Narayan Mantra, or we bring some prasadam from temple. We know something has to be there. We get higher destinations. Uttama Loka, we say something, right? But what is the point is, what I am supposed to do all through the life that I forget, only at the time of death, no, I should focus on how can I get higher destinations in life. Everybody follow? This is all you should focus on. You see, we are very wonderful. Do you identify who is it? Huh? Now can you identify? Yeah. Can you identify this? We cannot, because we are not seeing that. Now we can identify. Okay. So different bodies, boyhood, youth, old age, right? What is changing? That's why I explained material nature is so subtle. Our child is growing, we cannot understand. But some of our relatives come, oh, your child has grown up so much. It's very calm now. No, is it? In the same way that we are taking body, another body. It's going on, just like a film. The screen is going on. Same way, life also, the bodies keep on changing. At the same way, after this body becomes invalid, the living force, like this I, will move on to the another body. That's what Krishna is saying. What is that here to understand here? You are not the body that you see in the mirror, you are Atma. So, the real driver of the body is car. Just as you take a car, you are the driver. You are seated in the region of the heart. Yes, we are Atma, soul, seated in the region of the heart, and this body is a machine. This is the truth. Okay. One has to get trained in this. So what is this anatomy? We go to any, right? We study some medicine. There is an anatomy of the body, right? They dissect so many things. The Krishna is explaining, just like a boatman, the scholar, right? The scholars know how this, photosynthesis, leaf happens, everything, but he doesn't know how the leaf has come. Are you following? That's the creation of God. Here, Krishna, who is the creator, is explaining the anatomy of the body like this. First, we have the gross body. I request parents to take the children to this class is there. So they get some nice time. They will teach some shlokas, stories. So first is the gross body. This is what we are seeing. I'm seeing you means I'm seeing the gross body. Then we are seeing within ourselves, okay, we are experiencing that is what subtle body. The gross body is made up of Pancha Mahabhuta. You can see our body, right? Externally. It's just like a shirt and coat. You have a shirt, coat, right? So in the same way, gross body is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Made of Pancha Mahabhuta. And within that, there is a subtle body, which is made of mind, intelligence, and ego. I cannot see your mind, I cannot see your intelligence, but you can experience, I have mind, I have intelligence, I have ego. Right? And inside, there is a third, that's the soul. The soul is covered by the subtle body first, then of the gross body. In this way, the gross going higher and higher. Like you say, earth is very gross. After that, earth, after that, water. Then, fire, air, ether is subtle. We cannot see. Now, after ether, mind, we cannot understand. Beyond that, intelligence. Beyond that is ego. Beyond that is soul. So subtle that we cannot understand. Only we can experience. We cannot even see the mind. How can we see the soul? What is the symptom of soul? We explain in Svetasvatara Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, some shlokas. Yeshagra Satabhagasya, Satata Kalpitasya. So, if you take the hair, the tip of the hair, you cut it into 10,000 pieces, that is the dimension of the soul. Can you cut the tip of the hair into 10,000? So that is the dimension of the soul. We cannot understand, we cannot see. But only through knowledge we can perceive. By consciousness we can perceive the soul. You are finding some pain in the body because Your consciousness is spread all over your body. But my consciousness is not spread everywhere. I cannot see your suffering. I can see only my suffering because my consciousness is spread in the limits of this own body only. But God, the difference is His consciousness is spread everywhere. That is the difference between an ordinary living force, a super living force, soul and super soul. Are you able to follow? Okay. So, if at all we have to challenge, how do we understand there is a soul? I can explain what is the difference between a dead body and a living body. Living body minus consciousness equal to dead body. That's what we can say. And what is the important thing to inquire? There is a living force which I can say, show me. You sometimes teach your child, right? Hand immediately the child raises, right? How many of you teach your child like that? Right? Show me your hand, will raise. Show me your mouth, something. Eyes like that. Show me yourself. Can you ask yourself, like, who I am? I'm saying my body, my hand, my. And what is I here? This is not just philosophical question. This is what intrinsic our nature. So that's what soul here you can see. The soul nature is Sat Chit Ananda, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, happiness. You all said what you are looking for in life, happiness. Because you are soul. You always want to be knowledge, full of knowledge. You never want to be failed in any attempt to attain success. Right? Anyone? Do you want to accept failure in life? Anyone can say that? No, we always want to be successful. How to get success? Can you tell me? This is what we get guidance from others. So full of knowledge. And it has to be forever. This is my desire, innermost desire. Because that soul's innermost nature is reflected through the medium of this subtle body and the gross body. That's how the mind began thinking like that. The intelligence is working in that fashion. But unfortunately, this body is not supporting because the body has 4 defects. And how to come out of these 4 defects? That is what? Diseased state to healthy state. We are all living, but living in a diseased state. And Krishna is teaching Arjuna, Arjuna, you are in diseased state. You hear from me Bhagavad Gita, then what will happen? You lead a life same in a healthy state. Everybody follow? Arjuna was a Kshatriya, diseased state, confused. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, he didn't change his profession, as I said, but he changed from diseased state to the healthy state. This is what you should understand. In a diseased state, what is the problem? You give some food. Can you enjoy the food? The same food you give to a healthy person. Oh, very nice taste, delicious. You see your life. Oh, always miseries, always anxieties, always stress. But you go to a person who is very much trained in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. This is what our Acharya said. Vishwam Purna Sukayate. This whole world, Purna Sukayate, full of happiness. Wherever you see, just as a woman of you have seen Mahavatar Narasimha. Have seen? Oh, very few. Please watch that. Okay. My kids really enjoyed that movie. Okay. So in that, Prahalad, he was finding so many challenges, but he was never ever disturbed. He was always remembering Krishna. And the Lord, very pleased, he appeared and he gave a boon. Oh Prahalad, wherever you see, I will be appearing in front of your eyes. You have never lost to me. You see how wonderful it is? That's so. Okay. So Arjuna was always thinking in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita while fighting on the battlefield. While fighting on the battlefield. Right? That means while working in office, okay, we can also remember the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and we can work with more renewed enthusiasm, more vigor, more strength that is coming from as a living force. And with the purpose in life, why do you work? We have a purpose in life. That is what value addition in your life by hearing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna explained one more thing, importantly, concluding that section. Na jayate mroyate va kadachin
Nachayate Mriyadeva Kadachin
nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah
Nayam Bhutva Harinama Punyata
ajo nitya shashvato purano
Ajo Nitya Shasvato Purano
na hamyate hamyamane sharire.
Nahamye Hanyamani Sarire.
For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. See, very clear. No birth, no death. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Slain. You say, Arjuna, I am killing by fighting. So Arjuna was many things. Oh Krishna, I have many astras. What if I use Brahmastra? Will it not kill? No. You may use any weapon. Okay, you cannot kill the soul. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. Like that Krishna explained many ways. Finally he is saying, no. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. When the body is slain, the soul is not killed. Okay. So it is explained, just as a bird is trapped in the cage, okay, right? The bird you keep in the cage, what will happen? The bird is very unhappy, disappointed, right? So the bird, tattva, you can say you want to fly, have freedom. Similarly, the soul is trapped in a body made up of these 5 elements. Okay. And what is that happening to us? Not knowing their real identity as a soul, the people spending all their life in polishing the cage, pampering the body without feeding the soul. Is it not? You give any point in life, right? The inquiry about the body only, right? As you all said, I want good friends to play, good job, whatever. Everything applicable to the body. But have you ever asked what I, as a soul, need? What is my need? What is the need of our, like we say, right? What is that? That we should understand. So Krishna is explaining the subsequent Yam labha cha param labham
Yam Labdha Cha Param Labham
manyate nadikam tata
Manyate Nadikam Tata
yasmin sito dukkena
Yasmin Sthito Na Dukkhena
gurunapi vichalyate
Gurunapi Vichayate
Yam labha. Yam labha means get, obtain. Labham, what is the gain again? Aparam labham means another gain. You got some gain, let's say you got something, right? And you don't look for any other gain. That's what here Krishna is saying. What is it you gain? You become situated in Atmavan. I have a very wonderful point here. How many of you say, Rupavan, are you happy? You got everything in life. Balavan, do you say you got everything? Gunavan, Dhanavan. Hope you are able to follow. All these kind of great assets, you see some Dhairyavan, Rupavan, Balavan, so many things, this doesn't make complete. But if somebody, as Krishna is saying, become Atmavan, and Krishna is saying, he thinks there is no other greater gain. I don't need anything else in my life. If you become Atmavan, established in the self, Atmavan, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Then what is the outcome? Falasruti here. and you understand this today's session, exploring inner self, Krishna is saying, being situated in such a situation, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. How many of you say that today, after hearing this wonderful teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and now Atmavan, now let any difficulty come, I am ready to face any challenge. How many of you can say? Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Bol. But I will tell you, we have 4 defects. What is that one defect? Imperfect sense. Today I sleep, tomorrow I wake up, I forget. Is it not? So what we should do? We should always be guided by a mentor. We will call in the morning. Hari Bol, Brahma Murta, please get up. Chant Hare Krishna mantra. Read Bhagavad Gita. Remind yourself again. This is for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day you should be revived. Everybody follow? Without that, there will not be any practical application. So I will just end with some parable here. Just few minutes. We are not human beings. What I mean? We are spiritual beings with human experience. People is saying, just you lie down. In a deep sleep, you will maybe sometimes flying, right? Different body. As soon as you get up, you realize, oh, I am in this body, no, I am in this. But we are experiencing nighttime differently, daytime differently. As soon as you wake up, you know, yes, I am experiencing now as a human in this so and so body. This is our position. So this body is going on changing like a film. It doesn't end. Just a transition from one body to another body. Krishna is explaining, just as you wear garments. As soon as this garment is torn out, what do? You throw off the garment to take a new garment. Is it not? The same way, the Prakriti, the material nature, under the dictation of providence, the will of God, will get another body after death. So there is a very interesting story. So there are twins in the womb of a mother. 2 twins, right? It means 2 babies. The first baby is asking to the second one, do you believe in life after delivery? The second child began, yes, of course, why not? So we are actually preparing for that life after delivery. We are actually preparing ourselves. So this is what you understand. This life is a preparation for the next life. Okay, now the first child replied, nonsense. There is no life after delivery. What would that life be? And the second child is replying, we will walk, there will be life, we will be walking, and we will be eating with mouth. Now, the first child is laughing. It is ridiculous. Walking is impossible. Eating from mouth, ridiculous. This umbilical cord is supplying the nutrition to us. And if it is too short, logically it is impossible. Right? Very sensible. The second child now began saying, maybe now after delivery we may have different situation. Our life would be different. And the first child began saying, okay, then I don't see anyone who has come back after delivery. The first child, they make a wonderful question. I don't see anyone who is experiencing life after delivery. Now the second child started speaking. Why do you think? we may have different situation, right? My mother is there to take care of me. I will meet my mother. That's my reality. Then the first child began asking, how do you believe? How do you believe this mythological statement? Already followed? And the first child, very wonderful question. But when I am very peaceful, I am seeing the calling of my mother. She is calling of me. I hope mothers can experience. Sometimes they just take care of the baby, they will move also. They take care of nicely, right? So in this way, in this two babies conversation, one child is thinking, this, whatever life in the womb is calling out. After delivery, there is shunya, nothing, complete dark. But the second child is believing in the life after delivery. That is our position. We are all in the womb of God, Brahmanda. In this universe, there is God. We are not able to understand God because we don't desire to see God. Just as in the Mahabharata Narasimha also same thing. Okay, some of you have seen, right? So Varunadev is saying, oh, you just call out to the Lord, chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We are experiencing God through the sound vibration. This is called Shabda Brahma. Okay? So Hare Krishna. So we'll pause here today. So I can take one or two questions. Any more questions we can discuss during our Prasharam time, or we can ask your mentors.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Since questions are quite deep, there were two things which I was doing to the slide, trying to observe it very closely.
Can you please close?
Keep it close. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, Lord. Yeah.
Hare Krishna again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
First and foremost, I was working a few things very closely. Few things where I was basically trying to understand it myself, right? There was a slide which said Arjuna asked perfect questions and you gave a perfect answer. Shri Krishna gave a perfect answer. However, in Gita itself, I found certain references. I don't have my phone here, so I may not be able to break them out. Probably in the next class, where Krishna reprimands Arjuna, saying, "What is this? You act as if your knowledge is full and wisdom, but this is a very wrong kind of a question." So I can understand Krishna giving a very perfect answer, but you still see that Arjuna asked perfect question is something that I was wondering. That's the side question. One other point that you had made was about Atma. You quoted, I believe, Prabhupada Upanishad, which says that Atma, you basically quoted the size of Atma, saying that it is 100 times the size of the tip of a hair. I understand that you are from which school are you, right? And you all, some of us, we have studied science. And we understand atoms which are there are so small and those are visible under electronic microscopes, right? So 1/10 of a tip of a hair, when we look under that, it is quite visible. So are we still sticking to the fact that Atma is 1/10 of the size of a hair? There was one other thing also which was mentioned, like na hanyate na hanyamani shariri. Very wisdom of this one. Who says that Atma is indestructible. However, I just was wondering at that particular time when Mahapralaya happens. They say when Mahapralaya happens, everything is destroyed. It is only the Krishna or Vishnu who is on Daniel. Where are Atma there? Na hanyate hanyamani sharire. Sharire is going to listen. Then where is Atma? Are we witnessing that? Because in Markandeya Purana again they say the only person who has ever witnessed that is not even Mata Lakshmi. He is Swayam Markandeya Muni. Only that one person. So I understand that there may be some other people's stories which is there. But these kind of few things which were there, probably like in the due course of this would have been much more understanding of these higher philosophical things. I won't say philosophical things, higher religious things, but these were a few things that came to my mind. I just wanted your opinion about this. Again, thank you and very much.
Thank you, sir. So I just go through one or two. We can have further discussion. Couple of questions we need more details. Can you refer some other Puranas that there is a some Markandeya who is there will observe that. Okay, so those things we can cover it later. The scope of the discussion today, because Arjuna asked a perfect question, we are still reading that. That's why we can accept that it's a perfect question. Because Krishna, whatever answer is given, the perfect answer, everyone by reading Bhagavad Gita, their lives are transformed. That's the meaning of a perfect question, perfect answer. The question may be not so intelligent, as Krishna also said, Asocyan Anma Sochastam Prajna Vadamsha Bhashase. You are speaking like a learned person, but actually don't know what is actually the real fact. So just as sometimes a child asks, okay. Similarly here, the Arjuna is taking the role, even though he is a great devotee, he is taking the role for our sake, for our sake. Arjuna is not bewildered. This is what fact is given by Acharyas. Okay. Arjuna is taking the role of a student so that Krishna can speak Bhagavad Gita for the whole humanity. Krishna's mission, we want to Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. That's okay, done. Dharma samstapana kaya. How can you establish? Just to give the very principles. Okay. Through his devotee, his friend, Bhaktosime Sakasheti, he is giving these religious principles or whatever teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So that's a thing. I hope you understand, sir. Okay. So we can discuss further religious
I hear you. Sir. Thank you.